with the same influence that I have today, if I could have it at that time, what decade would I go back to? That's a very interesting question. So here is my instinctive answer, and there might be a lesson to be learned here. My instinctive answer is to go back to the moment after the assassination in 1914 of Archduke Ferdinand of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, killed by a Serbian anarchist, terrorist, whatever term one wishes to use. That led to World War I. World War I is arguably the greatest single calamity in history because World War I was not only horrific in terms of loss of life, it led directly to communism and Nazism. If there were no World War I, there would have been no Nazi regime in Germany, and there would have been no communist regime in Russia. The result of Nazism and communism is the greatest concentrated amount of slaughter and evil in history, all because somebody shot somebody in Serbia in 1914. So if I could go back and I had the same percentage of ears or eyes that I have today, first of all, I'm not sure I could have done anything. The more I read about the origins of World War I, the more it seems people just inexorably ended up in this massive war. Both sides thinking the war will be over by the end of the year and that they will win. And instead, it slogged on, 15, 16, 17. When did it? I think it ended in 1918. Whole generations of young men, young idealistic men were slaughtered. And as I said, then we had communism in Russia in 1917, direct result of World War I. And then we had Hitler 15 years later and the Nazis in Germany. It's so painful to think what World War I led to. Here is a lesson. How could I have stopped it? Let's say I had twice, 3 times the influence then that I have today. What would I have said? You know, if you go to war with each other, if France and Russia, you go to war with Germany, please understand, and England, you go to war with Germany, you're going to lose your generation of young men. Nobody would have believed me. They might have thought I was a lunatic, but I would have said, hey, I've come from 100 years from now. I know what's going to happen. Then they'd be certain I was a lunatic. So I don't know what I would have said if I had the ear of all these people to have stopped them from their march into war. But that's what I would have tried to prevent, and probably quite unsuccessfully. Fascinating question.